First and foremost, Congressman, welcome back to your alma mater. It must be something to come back here to Oxford 20 years after you graduated and you're running for Vice President of the United States. Was there anything here at Miami that forged your vision for America? Was this a turning point for you?
Sure, oh, sure. It's great to be back here on Oxford campus at Miami. This is a big part of my life. A lot of the formative years of my life were spent here at Miami of Ohio. So I can't really point to one thing that was so formative, but academics. This is where I sort of took a turn in favor of studying economics. When I was a kid, I thought I wanted to be a doctor like my grandfather, and then I ended up really wanting to study economics. I came here to do that, and so I spent a lot of my time in the field of economics, took a lot of political science courses. So, you know, I did a lot of reading in these years here. I did a lot of studying on these issues here. So these were the formative years that sort of developed, I guess, my trajectory. I never imagined I would be doing this. I didn't think I was going to run for Congress, let alone this. But Miami was so good to me. I have such good friends from throughout Ohio that are still good friends to this day from these years here. So it always brings a smile on my face when I come to this campus.
You mentioned forming that sort of economic view for America. That is obviously what puts you on the national map, the Ryan budget. Now, of course, your running mate, Mitt Romney, says, well, his vision, of course, he's at the top of the ticket.
That's right.
Does your vision, does the Ryan budget become subordinate to the Mitt Romney vision?
Yeah, I'm joining the Romney ticket. It's not the other way around. So I'm supporting the Mitt Romney plan, which is very similar to what we've been doing. We share the same values. We have the same vision for the country. And so what we're going to do is give the country a very clear contrast between the president's failed vision, failed agenda, high unemployment, crushing burden of debt, a country in despair and decline. We're going to go to the country with very concrete solutions on how to get jobs created, how to get people back to work, higher take-home pay, and that is something that I'm really excited about. And yes, this is the Romney-Ryan ticket, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Do you think your two plans merge well together?
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
you don't have to abandon any of your principles to join the Romney ticket.
Mitt Romney chose me because we share the same principles. I'm proud of the work we did in the House, and I'm more proud now to be joining Mitt Romney on his ticket.
Very good. I mentioned I began my career covering your district.
Yeah.
I was a reporter in Rockford, Illinois, and Rock County was part of our coverage area. I spent a lot of time in Janesville while you were a junior and senior here at Miami. You and I have both been in the GM plant there in Janesville, which shuttered in 2009, remains closed today on sort of an idle standby. 2,400 jobs lost. Unlike Mitt Romney, you supported the auto bailout. Do you think the Obama bailout of the auto industry was a good idea sitting here today?
Didn't help Janesville. They shut our plant down. It didn't help Kenosha, I represent there, shut down the Chrysler plant. What I voted for was to prevent a worse bailout. I voted for that bill to prevent TARP from being used to bail out the auto companies at more than 3 times the cost of that original legislation. And where I come from, where we lost 4 auto factories, 2 Delphi, a Chrysler, and a GM plant, auto bailout didn't work for us.
Would you vote for it again today, the Obama bailout of the auto industry?
I didn't vote for the Obama bailout of the auto industry. I voted for the House bill, which was to use the Energy Department money instead of using TARP money. That bill didn't pass the Senate, and therefore President Bush, under his watch, to be fair, used TARP to bail out the auto companies, something I very much opposed, and I tried to prevent. Unfortunately, it occurred, and now we're still going to be out of taxpayer dollars as a result of this.
Of course, you were also very outspoken against the stimulus, the Obama stimulus plan. A report came out again today in the AP. It was a repeat of that Wall Street Journal article from a couple of years ago, where you had asked for stimulus money for your district. Is that accurate? Is that report accurate?
I never asked for stimulus. I don't recall that. I haven't seen this report, so I really can't comment on it. I oppose the stimulus because it doesn't work. It didn't work. It brought us deeper into debt. It was about $1.1 trillion when you add the borrowing costs. It put us deeper in debt and further out of work. We've proven, the president acknowledged it, there aren't shovel-ready projects. And so the president passed the stimulus, then he went on to trying to take over our healthcare system by giving us Obamacare. Meanwhile, we have more people in despair, more people out of work. We're not creating the kind of jobs we need in this country. It's failed leadership. It's a bad record. And so we're going to offer real solutions to get people back to work and get this economy back on track.
You've been called, even by yourself, a deficit hawk. Everyone agrees the deficit's too high, it needs to come down. The disagreement is over how and when. Europe right now is going through a double-dip recession, some would say because the austerity measures were too deep. Do you disagree?
Well, I think Europe's going through a recession for lots of reasons. Number one, I think they have bad economic policies that led them to where they are. What we're trying to do is prevent European-like austerity. We're trying to prevent us from having a debt crisis in the first place. That's why we have the Romney-Ryan plan for a stronger middle class. That's why we have a plan to get people back to work. The key ingredient is this: economic growth, job creation, with spending cuts and spending reforms to prevent a debt crisis from ever happening. Because once a debt crisis happens, just like in Europe, then people get their benefits cut. Then you slash spending across the board. Then you raise taxes and slow down your economy and go into a recession like Europe is experiencing. That's precisely what Mitt Romney's leadership is designed to avoid from happening, and it's exactly what will happen if we get 4 more years of President Obama.
Congressman, one last question. Southwest Ohio is really an epicenter of modern conservatism these days. John Boehner, many others in the area. Ohio, obviously a diverse state in terms, that's why it, of course, is a battleground state. Do we expect to see you back here in Southwest Ohio? And do you,
I like my Skyline Chili 5-way. I did lit drops in Trenton, Ohio for John Boehner when I was here at Miami. In 1990, I think is when his first election was. I look forward to coming back here. By the way, this reminds me a lot of home in Wisconsin. It's very similar scenery, and I just have a very soft spot in my heart for Ohio, for this part. I've got a lot of friends here, too.
Any favorite haunts at Miami, the Bagel and Deli, or anything?
Skipper's was probably cheese fries at Skipper's, Bagel and Deli, turkey gobblers, and 5-way Skyline.
Of course. Congressman, thank you so much for your time. Good
Thanks.
luck.
Appreciate it.